Hello, welcome to Option Skills Plumbing Portfolio Building Part 2. Before following this presentation, it is advisable to watch and understand Portfolio Building Part 1, as this covers how documents are completed and understood. This presentation only covers the practical installation, decommission and maintenance tasks. It would be advantageous to follow this presentation with the documents shown. Install and maintain domestic plumbing and heating systems. You should already have copies of these documents. If not, copies can be obtained from Option Skills. These documents are important because they're where you record, sign off and cross-reference the work you have done. The first assessment is PLG 204A. This is the code for this practical assessment. The first part explains how to pass this assessment. It states that this assessment has to take place at a minimum of 2 different addresses and on a minimum of 2 of the 5 systems listed: cold water, hot water, central heating, sanitation and gravity rainwater systems. This equates to 4 installs in total. For example, a bathroom suite comprises of cold and hot water. This would be 2 jobs, whereas central heating, sanitation and gravity rainwater systems only equate to 1 job each. 2 bathroom suites would be enough to complete the install and decommission sections of this portfolio. The guidance on acceptable evidence tells us what we need to cover to complete the install of the systems selected. For example, a cold water system requires you to install 3 sanitary appliances, which could comprise of a bath or shower, basin and a WC at 1 address. The work must include the complete installation or replacement of cold pipe work within the room. On a central heating system, the installation of at least 3 radiators, second fixed, or controls in the airing cupboard, or a second fix to a boiler, first fix carcass. This must be at 1 address. This means install 3 radiators, or install all of the controls in an airing cupboard, including the motorised valves and pump, etc., or install a boiler jig and connect all associated pipe work. In all of the cases, you must follow the procedures for filling and commissioning the systems. Direct observations are always undertaken by a course assessor and not a supervising engineer. You are required for this practical assessment to be observed by an assessor on at least 2 of your selected systems. The rest is by a supervising engineer. We are now looking at the first practical assessment. EAL's documentation does not allow for recording correctly without duplicating several copies of this document. As the document is for recording and cross-referencing, we can use the form in a slightly different way to how we use the ones for health and safety. As can be seen, there are boxes to write system types into. These boxes we will leave empty for all of the installs. That leaves 4 boxes per section, 2 for direct observation by an assessor and 2 for your supervised work. With our portfolio and our learner pack open on PLG 204A, as highlighted in the red boxes, for all of the installation work, all of the criteria has to be met for all of the jobs and there are 4 jobs in total, 1 job for each system type chosen. On the portfolio, each job requires your name, the address of the property where you're carrying out the work, a tick in the box for the system you are installing, then work through each and every criteria, recording how you achieved it, and apply a suitable photograph where applicable. Continue all the way through the document until you reach Extra Supporting Evidence. This page allows you to add any extra photos or information regarding that installation. Continue the same process for jobs 2, 3 and 4. This will complete PLG 204A and all of the sections within it. Although the health and safety was cross-referenced for you, this needs to be done by yourself. For the 2 jobs which are observed by an assessor, you need to write the page number and a code for the system type in the direct observation boxes. For example, as you can see, I have used job 1, which is page 4 in my portfolio, and job 2, which is page 14 in my portfolio, to reference where the evidence can be found. Also, CW stands for cold water and HW stands for hot water. Therefore, 1.1, check that all necessary job information is available before commencing the installation work, and 1.2, liaise with other persons to confirm the detail of the installation work to be carried out, can be found in my portfolio on those pages. Please check your referencing, as all of the criteria are on different pages within your portfolio. For example, 1.3 to 1.6 in job 1 is not on page 4, it is on page 5. Similarly, for the job 2, they are on page 15. Your cross-referencing must be accurate, or it may be rejected by the examining body. This is what a completed section of the document should look like. Follow the same process for all of the 4 installs. PLG 204B Decommissioning. Evidence must be provided for decommissioning on 2 of the 4 systems across 2 properties. The systems are cold water, hot water, central heating and sanitation. This doesn't include gravity rainwater systems. One of these systems is to be observed by an assessor and 1 by your supervising engineer. Providing you use this portfolio, the cross-referencing of page numbers has been done for you. All you need to complete are the boxes for the system types. Please ensure job 1 in your portfolio is completed for the assessor observation, and job 2 in your portfolio is for the supervising engineer observation. PLG 204C, maintain plumbing and heating components. To complete this section of the portfolio, we need to take a slightly different approach. The evidence required is listed in 2 parts. Part 1 is repair and replacement, and part 2 is maintenance. Let's take a look at part 1. Replacement or repair. You need to select 4 of the components listed. Your selected components require you to replace or repair that component. In part 2, you are required to select two of the components on which you must perform a maintenance task. Maintenance means, for example, adjusting the float valve to the correct water level, or silicone grease in a tap terminal fitting, as well as repairs. For this task, there is no requirement for a direct observation from an assessor, just your supervising engineer. In the column down the left, list your 4 components and 2 faults. Do this throughout all of the criteria. Down the right column is where the work-based evidence is referenced. Tasks 5.1 to 5.7 are covered for all of the components together. Place your name at the top and the addresses at which all the work took place for all of the components. Now list your 4 repair or replace components plus your 2 faults, and then how you met that criteria. Tasks 5.8 to 5.13 are specific to each component. For example, 5.8 has 6 parts, 1 part for each component. This continues to 5.13. To complement the 6 components, a maintenance record needs to be completed. There are 6 maintenance records, 1 for each component. The photographic evidence for the 6 components starts on page 87. There are 18 boxes to add your maintenance pictures, 3 for each component. There is a box underneath for you to write the component name. You do not need to use all 3 boxes for each component, but you do need at least 1 suitable picture of each of the 6 components. At the end of the portfolio are spaces for additional photographs and any other supporting or written evidence you want to submit. Last but not least, ensure that both parts of the portfolio and the learner packs are fully completed and signed and dated in all relevant boxes. Failure to do this will result in referral. You can submit this portfolio printed or electronically to Option Skills Birmingham office. Please do not send any work to Manchester. Thank you and good luck.